Okay, in this video, I'm going to show you how I've automated the process of data entry into my CRM. So I use Notion as my CRM. I'm going to use this lead. We haven't talked to them in a very long time as an example. Let's imagine the only pieces of information I have on this lead is the LinkedIn URL. I'm saying this because most of the time when you're prospecting, you're using LinkedIn to prospect. So I'm just going to go ahead and delete a bunch of information here. And the use case for this is quite simple, is that most salespeople spend most of their time not selling, which blows my mind. Let me just first run automation and I keep talking to buy myself time and entertain you as the automation runs. So let's imagine I'm in the CRM, I have the LinkedIn URL, or the two cases is I'm prospecting manually, which is perfectly fine. People still do that. I have the LinkedIn URL. I don't want to have to copy paste every single piece of information in my CRM. I just copy the LinkedIn URL. So I click on populate data from Clay. Okay. Now, excuse me. What this does, and why I think this is good, is because again, it reduces the admin tasks that your sales reps have to do. I still do some sales at my agency. I really like doing sales, to be honest. I just love the chase. I love jumping on a call and demos, but I absolutely hate doing admin tasks. It drives me crazy. Like what I need to know, for example, if I were trying to get in touch with this person again, is how big is his company? What's his job title? How long has he been there? When I'm prospecting, I'm obviously going to see that, but I have to recheck this information all the time. I don't want to have to click on LinkedIn, look at the info, and so on. I want to be able to see it directly from my CRM. And boom, we now have the team size. That's a pretty big company. Title, that's a great title. And then if I click on this, view more details over here, I see I can quickly access the company that Rohit works at and the LinkedIn company URL here as well. Now, obviously, this is not a perfect system, so you can see we weren't able to find his email, which is interesting because I'm going to show you who we use. Um, oh my God, what's the word I'm looking for? Who we use for email verification. But let me walk you through the clay table one sec. Okay, I had to very quickly make a duplicate because I realized as much as I want to make videos like this, I can't be showing you the leads in my CRM. Like I have to be a bit smart, you know. But this is how it works. So when you're making a button in Clay, you have the option to send a webhook. Clay has a very easy way to set up webhooks. So if you were to do it from scratch, you would click on Add, Webhook, okay? And then you're going to see this link. So you just have to copy it and paste it in Notion or in really any automation tool that you're using, okay? Let me delete this real quick. Then, oops, one sec. What's going on? One sec. Okay. Then what happens, I manually entered the information here, but obviously it would have been automated. In the demo that I showed you, you would get the personal LinkedIn URL from the webhook here, and then you would get the page ID from Notion. You need that in order to update the Notion page. But then what's cool, what we're doing here is that even if we don't have the LinkedIn URL, you can see here, we're basically saying try to find the LinkedIn URL based on the work email. Because also a lot of times we do know the email address of the lead, because you have to understand this workflow. A lot of times it's to also improve on another existing workflow, which when someone books a meeting with us with our Calendly, they have to put their email account, right? So we usually already have their email in our CRM. So we're using that data point as well to enrich the rest of the information. The reason why this says final is because there are two LinkedIn profiles we can find, either the LinkedIn that we already have, or if we don't have the LinkedIn, like I just mentioned, from the work email, we get that LinkedIn URL, and then I'm just merging the columns to get the final one. Then we're using Clay's enrichment to find more information about the lead based on their LinkedIn profile. This is why I'm surprised here, is that we weren't able to find their email, even though I'm using some of the best email providers in the market. So Rohit, you are a tricky one, but okay, we keep moving. Then because we found them on LinkedIn, we obviously know what their current position is at. So we find their company from using the Enrich company on LinkedIn. So again, by the way, guys, like if you literally just go Enrich company, you will see it right here, okay? So following that, I just mapped out the information that I care about. You might care about other information. I really care about employee count. I care about when the person started at the job. And luckily, the enrichment gives you that information. We get their name again, their job title, of course, the name of their org. And then we just use the built-in Notion integration with Clay to update the information that we care about. So their name, domain, employee count, the deal size for us is always fixed 6K, start date, email, and so on and so on. Now, what's cool about this is not only do we get now this updated information, you can go actually a step further. I haven't done this, but maybe I should. I'll be honest, I don't want to waste like too much. Actually, no, let me just say it. So basically what you can do, and this is a common problem, excuse me, that a lot of companies have, is how do I keep my CRM up to date? Well, what you can do, let me just show you, where is it? There we go, here. You can rerun columns on a schedule. So I can select all of the columns, and then I can say, I want to run this once a month, okay? Obviously, imagine this clay table would have way more rows because it'd be all of the records in my CRM. And I can say, once a month, I want you to do this. Why? Because what if Rohit changed jobs? So then when I go to visit my clay table, because I'm a good salesperson, I want to do prospecting, well, I want to do it based on clean data. This allows you to do that. Obviously, be aware that the cost will go up the bigger your CRM is. What I would probably do here to make it so that I don't waste credits, actually, you know what? I would make it so that like there's a status here, right? So if they're closed loss, I don't want to run this. So I might make it so that I have a condition that says, like I can search for the item because I have the page ID. And then when I search for the page, I can see what status it is. And then I can have it in the very beginning because when you start the automation, it starts with the page ID. So like, I mean, we can try this out right now. Let me just go on a quick pause to make sure I can do it and come back. One sec. Okay, so this is definitely doable, but in Make, see, this is the price I have to pay because I am using Notion as my CRM. It doesn't have the search object in Clay, but it does have it in Make or in NA10. So if I want to keep using Clay for this, I'd have to make a custom API call, which is not the hardest thing to do. So like using this is fine. But that's how I would do it. Like I would first search for the lead, and then if the status is closed loss, I would not run the rest. This way I can save some credits. These are, by the way, the kind of like hacky ways that a Clay expert or a Clay agency can help you save credits. But yeah, this is honestly one of my favorite things I've built. It's just so fun, like seeing it happen live. Like you click on a button and it works. The button feature in Notion I think is great. Like this I'm still working on, creating some proposals. The idea for this, I'm not going to run it now, is that it creates a Google slide proposal deck based on the information that we have here, but there's other stuff I have to do. And what's also cool about Notion is it allows the, let me click on here just to show you quickly. Where is it? Where are you? Customize layout, yeah. You can add like new views here, which is actually super helpful. So in my case, I just wanted to, when I click on a lead in my CRM, I wanted to see any tasks associated with it. So if I want to add a task for this lead, I can just click on new page. I can say do this and then do that. The urgency, I want it to be, it's like very important. I want to do it, due date. And then now if I were to go on, let me just, if I were to go on my tasks, I can also see it very quickly. So let me show you. Okay, just to show you quickly, because I can't share the sensitive information, but in my internal company tasks, I can see it here. And then if I were to change the status to done, it will then, as you can see here, disappear, right? So hopefully you found this helpful. If you have any questions about building automations, workflows specifically for sales use cases, just book a meeting with me. You can visit our company website at oneway.io. My meeting link. Oh my God, my meeting link is here. And if you have questions about Notion build, stuff like that, just comment down below, okay?